senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett. Laura, there have been a number of issues in the last couple of weeks involving Clarence Thomas uncovered by ProPublica, and some fell within the loopholes of what needs to be disclosed, hospitality from a friend, as large as they were. But this is a different kind of payment if this is established.
Well, that's right. And there really are two different issues here. There's one, the disclosure issue and exactly what the justice was supposed to report. And then there's really a different, larger issue, one about whether this is sort of beyond the bounds of what you would think is prudent for a justice with lifetime appointment, really the appearance of impropriety. On the disclosure issue, justices are required to disclose gifts under over a certain dollar amount, which this would obviously fall under. The issue is whether, because it's a grandnephew, somehow it would be an exemption because he's not actually Justice Thomas's child, even though he was living with Justice Thomas as his son. And so his defenders have pointed to the fact that generally you're supposed to disclose gifts to a child like a son or daughter. Put that to the side for a moment. Justice Thomas has said repeatedly that he didn't think he had to disclose issues from Crowe in the past. He thought that they were exempted under different disclosure exemptions, that he said they were just friends, and that the justice hasn't said anything on this latest report. But as you said, Crowe is defending this as a partisan smear and that he's just interested in general education. I think the larger issue here, Andrea, is whether Congress really has anything to do about this, whether they have the votes to do anything about it. Obviously, Democrats are up in arms, saying the court needs ethics reform, saying the court needs to be treated just like every other federal judge that has to abide by ethics, a code of conduct, even though the Supreme Court doesn't. But again, whether they have the congressional will to do anything about it remains to be seen.
And senators today on totally party lines divided. Senator Durbin, Judiciary Chairman, saying in a statement that today's report just continues the steady stream of revelations, calling justices' ethics standards and practices into question. I hope the Chief Justice understands something must be done. Of course, the Chief Justice did not accept the invitation from Senator Durbin to testify about all of this. But Republicans are completely falling in behind him. John Cornyn, member of Judiciary and a former judge himself. But this has really reached a whole level where many observers and critics are saying that it is affecting the credibility of the court.
Well, and that, I think the part of the issue there is it isn't any one gift. It's sort of the totality of them and the extent of them. We have jet rides. We have luxury vacations. We have him paying for Thomas's mom to live rent-free in a home that he purchased. We have him paying for a portion of Thomas's wife's salary. And so I think it's all of that in totality that's really raising the larger ethics issues, Andrea.